Mhm. Hello. Hillary Ribbon Porter, Astral Shaman, and Tamiana Starseed Oracle. If you recently saw my story on Facebook or Instagram, then you know that today, so today is the 5th, just checking the calendar there, it's the 5th of April, 2024. And there's a lot of astrological things happening right now. There's a lot of stuff happening in the cosmos, which I'm seeing reflected a lot in my own life, but I'm also seeing it reflected a lot within the Star Temple and with the beings that I work with and the clients that I support and guide. Couple of things that are happening. We've got the eclipse. So we had the lunar eclipse about a week and a half ago, and we have the solar eclipse coming up on the 8th, right? So in like 3 days. And so when we have eclipse seasons, there's this buffer time. So 2 weeks beforehand, right? The 2 weeks beforehand, we are coming into the first eclipse. And that's when we really start to feel it. We can feel everything amplifying the energies until like that culmination point, right? We're coming up to speed, and then all of a sudden it's like for the eclipse, and then we're coming out and we're just like, whoa, okay, and we're integrating that. Well, the thing is, after that first one, we are starting the 2 week entry into the second one. So there's this overlap of exit and entry. And then 2 weeks after the second one. And so we're right in we're exiting again. And so we're right in the middle of, we're right in the like overlap phase right now. We have Mercury retrograde. We have the new moon coming up. Aries is in like everything right now, like conjunct and trine, all the things. And Aries is very like impulsive, go get them, get it done, which is beautiful and lovely because stuff gets done. And also that impulsivity too can be like, pause, take some patience. You might notice this with people when you're driving, the like urgency that people have with getting around you and having to like up on your butt. And like, it's crazy, right? You might notice in yourself of you're just like, get it done, get it cleared, processing it, and then having to consciously tell yourself to pause. There's also been a mix of the words or hearing things that aren't being said. So, for example, with my kid over the last week, they'll say something. I'm like, did you just say like carrot? But they said something completely not like carrot, but it started with a C, right? And you're just like, what is going like the translation from what is exiting and what is entering is being trans I was gonna say transfig modified. That's not even a word, but it's being switched up. It's like, let's say you have like all these particles, like 6 different particles, and when they're put together, they make up this thing. But then they go through the filter, and it's still those 6 particles, but they're put together differently. Like Lego, you could have 6 pieces and make a dog, and then on the other side, you could have 6 pieces and you made a house. So it's still the same 6 pieces, but they're put together differently. So there's a different meaning. Um, yeah, so big. So anyways, on my video, kasi I was making potions this morning, some herbal potions for some clients, and I could feel a being just watching me from the other room. They're just standing there and I could feel the intensity. You know, when you have somebody and they're standing near you and there's this like anticipation and they can't, in our house, they can't pick a lane. And you're just like, pick a lane, like quit like going back and forth, right? And you can feel their intensity and you're like, what do you want? Because right now, the frequencies, there's so much electricity, there's so much current, there's like such a high density of electrical particulate frequencies that the portals between the realms are super thin. So you might also be experiencing a lot of extra, like the shadow people, or the hearing extra things. My ear tones have been off the charts. And I usually get ear tones, but these have been just like making it so that I can't hear other things. And apparently today my favorite word is like, it's just gonna be what it is. I feel like I'm back in grade 7. I wonder if in the light language, one of the words that are on repeat is like, or oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? So yeah, so I could feel this being and I couldn't figure out what they want. I kept asking them to come over and I was like, come on over. I don't actually like that you're standing there hovering over me. It doesn't feel comfortable. So I need you to pick. You either need to come over or I need you to go away for a bit. And they still stood there. So when there's these entities, you can ask, you can put in your boundary, right? Whether it's a god, a goddess, it doesn't matter. An astral being, a star seed race, it doesn't matter. Set your boundaries, ask for what you need, whether they're an intangible being or not an intangible being. But they weren't listening. So the other layer that you can do is if you're like, okay, what, like maybe they need to be heard. I just realized I'm like super fuzzy. Hold on a sec. That didn't help, but that's okay. The other thing you can do is you can ask, what do they need? What are they asking for? So in the video, the second I asked, and I talked through it and I asked them, what do you need? What are you asking for? They're like, remember that thing on the way to the space today? So as I was driving to come to the space today, to the temple, oh, I'm just like light code, light code, light code. It was just like so much coming out. And I was like, okay, guys, don't overactivate me so I can't drive. And they're like, no, you're good. And they're like, when you get to the space, we need you to do a video, some transmissions. It's like, okay. And so when I asked this being, what do you need? They're like, remember those light codes? Remember the transmissions? I was like, right. And the second I acknowledged that, I said, okay, when I'm done this, because I was making quite a few potions, I was like, when I'm done the potions, I will go and I will do that. And the energy eased. Then they were just like, cool, awesome, thanks. And they were my little like nudge, nudge, nudge to do it. So I'm trying something new today with my camera because I know other times when I've done the light codes, because I'm going to be typing. So how this works is I'm going to be transmitting. Maybe that's the like, or I don't know. I'm going to be transmitting and I'm going to be typing at the same time. So the English will be coming through. Some of it will just be the light code. Some of it will only be the light code. Just is such a diminishing word because it's not just. So some of it will only be the light code. I won't have a translation for it. Some of it will be translated as well. I will make sure to include it wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Insta, or Facebook. I will make sure to include the transmission as well within the comments. Okay. So I'm not going to be really looking at the camera. Like I said, I did change it up a little bit. So the camera's up higher than I keep looking at my camera on my computer. So if you see my eyes looking like I'm not looking at you, it's because I keep looking at the camera I'm used to the camera being attached to my computer. But as I do this, I will just be doing my thing and then I'll come back to you once the transmission's complete. If you haven't seen any of these videos before, transmission brief, explanation of the transmissions are a co-transmission. I don't leave. So we'll say it's a channeling, but I don't leave. I am still here, right? To vary in degrees. Sometimes I'm here 5%, sometimes I'm here 95%, and then the rest are the Council of the Sisters. I'm the only one incarnate right now, 7 of them. All together with the 3 activations of each of us. There's 21. I am the 22nd. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out this Zoom thing. Sometimes it works for me. Thank you for your patience. Sometimes it doesn't. See, and that doesn't even wanna. Okay. Okay. You ready? Da 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 ba sa ti do da 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 sa ki go do da ba za ma da ba sa ti do da da ba dai da da ba tu da ba ka ti tu da da ba sam dai Paisito ko ko tike tu kumba ma tiku te bako wa tiki ka ma. Mpuku ti ti tu mba tiku mumo ti tu ma kini gina ma tiku tu ko ba tike te ka ma da da ba te ba te ku bu u si tu do te ti bai. Mba ti tu da te da ba tike ko na te ki a ka. Ke ko tia ti te ba ya ko bo ti te tu na ba tike te ko ba ko siki. Ona hai a ki. A ti tu da tia bo u tinta i te tu da tia ku bu. Nazi do ja ti ba ma ki. Ki ki go ga ti dai da do da ja ba ti dai da do da da ia do da ba si to do do da ba se ke te ba da ba e tu du ba ba ti go da ba te go. Ba ti ke da ba ti ke to kom ba ti ke da ba ti ki ya. Ge do no ma ti ke ya ba da ma ba ti da ba da sa ba ti ba gu ba ti da ba ti ki ya da ba yu ba ti ki ya ge se ba si tu to sta. Kina. Tiatostaja. Geokoteketekobaya, ia batikia, ia giogoma aya, setiadoda makai, odonoma maya matikideko data basa, mea doda namasaki, mba si, bo, kona, kito de boko godindai, dai. Yatunama. Ma ti tutto bazita da base kia batikia. Baya kuka se wati ki bugi kuka baya di de baya ba ti do sa stai tu kumu kuko si taya ti ta ba. Mbaki go di de ba di gugu basikia ba ti kia baya. Ko ti de ba ti kuto go bo ko ba aya mba aya ka basikia. Gia dona mati ta toda bati kia ba riu ba de do ba ya ba da gamba ba tiki tu mo ko ba na ba ti ke da ma na ma da di da ba tu gu zin dai ti da ba se ti tu da ba se ki o tu da ba ya ko da ba ya ti da na ma ti ke da na ma ti ba ni no mu ku a ya ba ki ya ba ta na ma ya ti da ba hu stu da go Deva zibeta da ba ti gunun ba ti ki da ma ya ti da ba se ki the battening of Maki go boba, Siki de Maki o go mahuma, he sat tita de no shakia kia the cat. Get about it to the basikia, but it did that pasta the basu kuno tia tapa. That no così. Kima pusito no matiki te gonna jet basaki. Ki go to bo usta diki. Nai, to no mu gustai, ai. Kia ba ju de matekia ba yo ba de ba se ko de ba se kia. Kia ko de booty de beti de popatin de boo. Kai, ona tsara da ba sa ki ona ti tai na ti ku da ba se ki ko na ti ta ma. Pasito wu stai. Ki ku ko te da ba te ke da ba se ki. Pa ti tutta sta ti ki te kaya. Te de no na te de na ma te ko da ba sa ti a ti te da ba sa ki. Patito de basha chiteka haba kisikito ko baya abatsikiteka da basta do basta that tinda tido mo kumunzna tinda kituko ko butsikiteka gezbayo sto do maya te da ba chikito ko mateti do na masaki aba eza da do bra tikiteka ya ngedo do bati da pasi Gota de basiki do no mateki to go mateki to go. Mbati ko do go to the basiki to go take the basino mate de basiki to go take the go da take the karate ki the ka batiki. Ba mbaya. Because it the basiki e. Basi do the basete de basete de basaki do the basako to go to the basaki or go to the masaki. Mbaya mbasito shutana tete de shtaki to no makiti ko no mayakia. Kita do basikia, do matikia, do no ja ia do matikia, batiketa baya. Potirio to the matiku to matita. Mbogoti do matikia baya, ba, to do no mega mba, gumo ba, mbagatika ba, mbate do magum bagum, ma. Makatiko da batiki da gabande do batita da batita. Tita da ti batikia bizina batikuru gore tigada baya tita no matikia kona tikia. Nadigo o bataka de bis de batam bakitikunda namantakava. Mate no matako kitiko ni baya do the batum bakar kreb bread kitike de katakaya. Paketika kata patika to go basigumo for bosses do to for bata basa chiches Batiki butter basaki na basin to do no kush to do no masaki. India to no mapasia tata ba. But I don't know what you was the getting at a good batico to get a basaki. Died the ocean. Here could die. Ah. Ki headed the Basaki to the Basaki, the Nunamasaki, the Namasaki, Vasika to the Masaki, the Namasakia, the Basika to go to the Basaki, Basiki to the Moko, go to the Basiki, the Namasaki, the Namasaki, Tambai. That is the bull, Basikia. Get the Basaki, or the Basika, the Basika, the Baya. Da basiki ono matiki da basiki a basiki to bio basiki to go bahi batika tika da kata ba mba isi to do masiki a so do mashtaka chakara kara mba kara ka ba hai consider basiki to no masiki o komatiko to papasiki to go ta si atino no masiki de matiko ticket na ba tita atino boto to ko pa pakisi de boko franta da basiki ta katikia to ko kaya Mbaya via ko baba was the masikio to ko mbaya via ko to ko for the masakia na mayo kasia aya wa ta basa ta basaki de positi daya baba tiki maraga masaki de cara and the tick to go together very tiki dikere kitty basik on basi the by and cause cosmotic Ajita Dabasa Kiyotona Aya Kotsitai. I'm laughing because sometimes they bring these words in that like translation doesn't always happen the best, and translations of the words that I'm saying, and I'm just like, that's not even a word, but I love the words that come. So the one that I was typing was cosmotic. Also, the definitions that they have for words are not the same as ours. So even as like cosmetology, it's like makeup, but for them that's not what it is. Gia tomokoa. Dete dobo kasiha teke teka boko setia tia tunubo ubobo bobo seki ngaki mba uga sikoto kote basiko to do baseki tata da shata da baseki ta kota da seki ta kata kapai mba tike teke mba vishu paseki guteke takaya swama kasia tike takaya atika batin madikito ko mo batiki daya the batikutuko batikita ba in the atito boba basiko na maya ma kasia tata basiki giaya and the namakusi daya ba did gige ba apa kia kata la do basikia do basakia kia koka bakatikutuko ba aya tito to shoot do basikia to buku untai Poco sì. Che tu dove c'è che doma se da na 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 c'è che adama che con c'è adama sa che cozzita e c'è da basta che che cozzita da basta che da basta che da basta cozzin da baia maya Vedi da se da basta che road is baba chico tu cozzita da basta che da masa che da da basta che da masa che yeah ma che 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 da sette da sette da ba da na na da na 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 Che con na masaki a kotse da basaki o te no masaki do no masaki o ko batseki aya che con no siete da basaki da basaki tu Okay, so let's see what, as you probably noticed, sometimes there was no words, but there was typing. And so this is sometimes what happens. They want the translation versus the focus on the words. Sometimes it's collaborative fully in the sense of typing in words. So the words are spoken at the same time that typing is happening. Sometimes it's transmission straight through of English, and they're like, okay, let's pause on the light code. But the light code's coming through, it's just going straight translation. Okay, you ready? So this is for the eclipse season, plus Mercury retrograde, plus all the things that are happening right now. Yeah, eclipse season, April 24th. Who have you become? Who do you see when you look in the mirror? Does it match who you see when you look inside? What's the difference? Why? How did you let yourself go to a place that didn't feel like home? If you've heard or watched other recordings or worked with me, you know, this is a big theme. And home is that presence of you fully. We know that state where we're like, oh, like we feel so who we are. We're not questioning what we're doing. We're not questioning our actions. We're not questioning what we're saying. It's not that we always feel joy, but even if we're feeling pain, we still feel complete because we're showing up completely as the truth of who we are. So that's home. It is time to come back home. It is time to come back to the places that you exist in, where you breathe easier, you stand taller, and your boundaries are delineated. Your boundaries are the most important thing here. They are what keep you whole. They are what keep you as you are, whole and complete. Without the boundaries, you are whatever comes through, all of them and none of thee. So all of them and none of, excuse me, yourself. To set your boundaries doesn't mean you are bound by them for the rest of all eternity. Boundaries change depending on what is happening, who is near, and what it is you need in that moment. This means boundaries change, but to know them in each moment as to what is clear and what is not, what is okay and what is no thanks. This is to be tuned into who you are. Who are you? Do you know that you exist in more than this realm, and that in each place of existence you are a being that exists to its completion? Where do you feel completion? How do you feel completion? When was the last time that you knew who you were and what you were about? Find your edges. Notice how they feel. Soft, sharp, hard, extended, stunted. Is there a story attached to them? What is that story? Notice if it is truth or a story made to make the edges justified. With truth, there is no justification required because it is. Not the justification that's required, but there's no justification required because it, truth, is, right? It just is, capital I. No reason required. There is no reason required for who you are. There is no justification needed for you. You are you, and this is the beauty and the plainness in the truth. No showboating, no expanded truths, the ones embellished to make them more palatable or to make them more addictive than the truth that you feel is not worthy of the time, attention, or love. You are worth all the pieces of time, attention, and love in the amount that you need them, that you crave them, and that are yours just for being part of this existence. Now, but first, you must get clear on your boundaries. These are the definition of who you are. These are the pieces of who you are meant to be and who you were. These are the pieces of your existence and the stories, the experiences that made them so, made you so. Be so now. Be this presentation of you now. Be this aspect, this piece of the light, your light now. This is the time to be illuminated and present within the cellular structure, recognizing it as needed as the vessel for the levels of the intangible to come to the forefront now. You are a vehicle for this light. You are a vehicle for this knowledge. You are a vehicle for this particulation of the energy and the frequencies of all things divine and cosmotic. There's that word, cosmotic. To be this vehicle to the fullest and in the clearest state is to take care of this vehicle. Nourish it with full foods. By full foods, they mean whole foods. Bathe it in pure moonlight. Cleanse it in the waters of Yamaya, the ocean, and lift it up with life, capital L. This is creation through art. An extension too. So lift it up with life. This is creation through art, any type of art, dance, creating. It could be food, right? Anything that is creating, that's life, that's creating something. Nourish it to be the clear portal. Nourish it to be the crystalline state. Nourish it to set the boundaries and to know where you begin and where the others end. To be in this state is to serve your purpose. To be in this state is to harness the energies that come upon you now. To be in this state is to be present to this existence and full within your heart. Know this to be true. Know this to be now. Know this in its entirety to take with you into the world. Through this plan, through this action, you reflect the frequencies of your life, the life of the cosmos, to the collective, and through their presence in this field, they too will stand up in their boundaries, and so too will hold the light and create the universe within. And when we create the universe within, we impact the whole, we impact the collective, we impact the reality that is out there as well as in here, and not just the reality that we come into direct contact with, but reality in its totality. So, if you have any questions, or I guess one of the questions I do get is, how do I use these codes? One, read them again and again and again. Two, answer the questions. This one had a lot of questions. Answer them. It's a conscious inquiry into self. Answer them verbally, but even more powerfully, answer them in writing, not by typing, but through handwriting. I mean, if all you can do is type write, like you can't handwrite, or you do better with audio, then by all means. But there's a different level of power when we handwrite, because of the movement of the hand and how it's shown to how it changes the brain, and it impacts the brain and the frequency within us differently. So I encourage you to go through it, answer the questions, reflect on them, read them again and again, listen to the light codes, put them on in the background, in the background, meaning put them on, lay down, close your eyes, and just bathe in them. Okay, I'm sending you so much love and stardust. And some ease to make it through this. And some ease, yes, but not ease as in like cocoon you and none of the work gets done, but ease as you dive into the work, as you actually show up for the chaotic primal energy that is right now. Primal energy is creation, but creation's chaotic. Think about even the cells in like the uterus, they're just like kind of chaos. It's organized chaos, but it's kind of chaos. So yeah, I send you the frequencies of will to do the work right now, and the ease with which to make it integratable. Totally not a word either. That's okay. Okay, so much love and stardust, and see you on the other side.